snack. Remember also that the more evenly you cut them, the more evenly they're going to cook in the oven. Now, spray your baking dish with cooking spray, then add in a piece of parchment paper, and spread out all your cinnamon rolls, giving them as much space possible between each other. Just pretend they don't like each other. Cover these up with plastic wrap and let them proof at room temperature for 1.5 hours or until they've doubled in size. Now, we're going to put 1 spoonful of heavy cream on each of the risen cinnamon rolls. We do this because the cream seeps into the dough as it bakes and keeps the bottoms extra soft, which gives you that beautiful bakery level texture. It's sort of similar to how you baste your turkey or soak your French toast in custard. The only reason you'd ever skip this step is if you wanted to eat a dry cinnamon roll. These are finally ready to go into the oven to bake. Pull them out once they've hit an internal temperature of 185 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit, and then let them cool for at least 30 minutes. As tempting as it might be to eat them right now. And if you ever do get tempted, just remember we still have to make our frosting. But even before that, we're gonna make a quick topping that is an absolute cinnamon roll game changer. And I promise, we're gonna finish this and the frosting before they're cooled down anyway, so this works out perfectly. Here we're making candied walnuts, where you melt down a bit of butter with some brown sugar as well as a tiny pinch of salt. All we're doing here is throwing together a quick, simple caramel over medium-low heat. And the reason I think this is such an important part of the cinnamon roll recipe is because it creates this amazing crunchy texture that balances out against that soft gooiness of the cinnamon rolls. Once you're happy with the color and consistency of your caramel, toss in your walnuts or any nut of your choice and mix fully until they're evenly coated. Then place them on a parchment-lined baking sheet, and remember, if you get any clumps like this, don't worry, because you can always crush this up more later. My special finishing touch on these is a little bit of lemon zest. That little touch of acidity will also help to balance out your cinnamon rolls. To make our frosting, we'll add a block of cream cheese, then some room temperature butter, and then beat this with a paddle attachment for about a minute or until light and fluffy. Once it looks something like this, add in your powdered sugar and continue to mix until that's fully incorporated too, scraping down the sides of your mixing bowl as needed. Finally, we'll add in some milk, cream, vanilla extract, and lemon juice, and then mix this once more until everything is fully combined, once again using that spatula to scrape down the sides of the bowl if you need to. It's time. First order of business, no grandma, no rules. I never used to be allowed to do that. Real quick, I'm just gonna do a rough chop of all the candied walnuts. I personally prefer if there's a good mix of some larger chunks and some small ones. And after all the waiting, it's time to put on our frosting. My method here is to start by putting a nice dollop of frosting on each one, just to make sure I treat them all the same. And then I'll use my offset spatula to push some of that frosting around so I can actually see those spirals. You need to be able to see those after spending so much time making them. To finish, I'll sprinkle on my beautiful candied nuts. Because in my opinion, the cinnamon rolls just aren't complete without them. Let's see how we did here. The test of a good cinnamon roll. Ooh. See if you can tell how well we did by my face.